الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, we are continuing our readings, our contemplations upon and within the work that is entitled Qasas al-Anbiya, that is entitled Stories of the Prophets, as has been authored by Abu Fida Ismail ibn Kathir. May Allah be exalted with so expansive mercy upon his soul as he passes in the year 774 and Hijri. And we have reached the story of Musa alayhi salam, and we have come into an understanding that there is a portion of the recording that was inaudible. So in order to fill that void, we will review that particular section, inshallah ta'ala. The author here states, many people have mentioned numerous narrations in books of what Musa alayhi salam spoke to Allah. All these contain things that have absolutely no basis whatsoever. Allah the Exalted has stated, and when we took your covenant and caused Mount Tor to be raised above you, saying, hold fast to that which we have given you, and remember that which is therein that you may fear. But you turned away after that. And if it had not been for the grace of Allah and His mercy, you would have surely been among the losers. He also said, and when we caused the mountain to be raised over them, as if it were a canopy, and they thought it was going to fall upon them, we said, Allah, hold firmly to what we have given you, and keep in mind what it contained, that you may become pious. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, as well as others, have said, when Musa alayhi salam came to them with the tablets which contained the Torah, he ordered them to accept it with firmness and goodwill. However, they said, show them to us, and if its injunctions and teachings are easy, we will take it. Musa said, no, accept it with all that it contains. They repeated the same argument several times until Allah ordered the angels to raise the mountain over their heads till it looked like an umbrella. It was then said to them, accept it, otherwise this mountain will fall upon you. So they accepted it and were ordered to prostrate. So they prostrated. This is still known among the Jews today. They say, there is no prostration greater than that which removed from us the punishment. Allah said, but you turned away after that. Meaning, even after they had witnessed this great experience and solid covenant, they broke their pledge and their covenant. And if it had not been for the grace of Allah and His mercy upon you, you would have surely been among the losers. We now enter into the story of the cow, the story of the Baqarah, in which the second chapter of the Quran is named after this particular event. Allah the Glorious has stated, and remember when Musa said to his people, Allah orders you to slaughter a cow. They said, do you mean to mock us? He said, I seek refuge in Allah from being among the ignorant. They said, ask your Lord for us to make clear to us of what kind it should be. He said, Musa, He says, Allah, He says that the cow should neither be too old nor too young, but in between the two. So do what you are ordered. They said, ask your Lord for us to make clear to us what color it should be. He said, Musa said, He says, Allah says, He says it should be a yellow cow, deep and bright in color, as to delight the beholders. They said, ask your Lord for us to make clear to us which cow it is, for cows are much alike to us. And if Allah wills, we may be directed to it. He said, Musa said, He says, Allah says, He says it is a cow unyoked, which has not plowed the soil and not watered the fields, sound, without blemish. They said, "Now you have told us the truth." So they slaughtered it, though they were near to not doing it. And remember when you killed a soul and fell into dispute about it, and Allah brought out what you concealed. So we said, "Strike the killed one with a part of the cow." Thus Allah brings the dead to life and shows you his signs that you may understand. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, Mujahid al-Suddi, and others, may Allah have mercy upon their souls, have said, there was among the Israelites a very wealthy man who was old. He had nephews who wished that he died in order to inherit his wealth. One of them killed him one night and threw his body in the middle of the way. In another narration, it says that they threw him on the door of a man from among their people. In the morning, the people started disputing about him and who his killer was. The nephew of the dead man came and stated, crying loudly. Some of them said, "Why are you disputing here? And do not go to the Prophet of Allah." So his nephew went to Musa alayhi salam and complained to him about the murder of his uncle. Musa said, "I ask each one of you in the name of Allah that if he has any knowledge about this, he should inform us." However, none of them knew anything. So the people asked Musa to ask his Lord in this matter. When Musa asked Allah about this matter, he ordered them to slaughter a cow. And remember when Musa said to his people, "Verily Allah orders you to slaughter a cow." They said, "Do you mean to mock us?" They thought it was a joke because they asked about something and were told to do something seemingly different. Musa said regarding their reply, "I seek refuge in Allah from being amongst the ignorant." That is, I seek refuge in Allah from conveying something on his behalf, Allah's behalf, on his behalf that he did not reveal to me, that Allah did not reveal to me. Ibn Abbas, Mujahid al-Suddi, and others said, if they had slaughtered any cow, it would have been sufficient. However, they kept going into detail, and thus it was made difficult for them. They then inquired about the characteristics of the cow to be slaughtered. Then they asked about its color, and finally about its age. When Musa gave them the answers to all their questions regarding its description, then they said, "Now you have told us the truth." It is said that they did not find a cow with those descriptions except with a man who was obedient to his parents. When they asked him to sell that cow to them, he refused. They kept on alluring him by increasing the price until he agreed to sell it. Suddi mentioned that they even offered to pay for its weight in gold, but the man refused. Then he finally sold it to them when he was offered a price 10 times the weight of its gold. So when Musa asked them to slaughter it, they slaughtered it, with hesitation, mind you. Then Musa ordered them to hit the dead man with some of its meat. When they did that, Allah brought him back to life. When he stood up, Musa alayhi salam asked him regarding his killer. He said, "My nephew killed me." Then he died again. Allah said, "Thus Allah brings the dead to life and shows you his signs so that you may understand." Meaning that this is just like you have seen how Allah brought this person back to life from after his death. Similarly, he will bring back his servants to life on the day of judgment. And with this concludes the section that had a portion that was inaudible. So with this, we conclude. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على محمد.